Hey everybody, this is Larry. This is me going over Q3 of the Leetcode weekly contest 226. Can you eat your favorite candy on your favorite day? Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, join me on Discord, send me some of your favorite candy. What do you like eating candy? I'm curious. Excuse me. So for this problem, it is actually a very logic, there's just a logic math problem with the queries. There's a lot of possible off by ones. So I do an explanation before, but I'm going to show the code because I think the code is very self-explanatory in terms of how I went through it. And you can watch me solve it through the contest. And you can watch me solve it during the contest to kind of see my step logic one by one. But I really just described it one by one. So the prefix sum, I actually did this immediately because I knew that, you know, if we care about eating candy of type 4, we don't really care about all the candies, right? We only care about, we don't care about the candies before that. We only care about the number. So that's basically the idea. Prefix sum is that, you know, in order to eat candy of type 4, we need to eat all the candies of type 3 and before, right? So that's basically why we have a prefix sum. So then now for each query, we have to type the day, the day cap, right, and an answer just to kind of map it. So then the total number of candies that we have to eat or possibly up to eat is it's just this prefix sum, which is what we calculated, and then the previous is basically all the previous candies that you have to eat of the type that's before, right? So then now from that, and even though this code looks really simple, it took me about, it took me about 20 minutes and a one wrong answer because I have an off by one in one of these cases to get right. So don't feel so, whatever. Don't be hard on yourself. Just make sure that you understand the logic and able to, figure out what you need to learn so that you can do it next time, right? For me, it's greedy. I try to break it down to a range where, okay, so what is the earliest, given, candies, let's say you have 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, right? Like these are all candies. What is the earliest, how do I say this? Given 10, let's say you want to eat, let's say the query is, type 1 candy on day 10, right? So what happens, right? So that means that day 10, you have eaten 9 other candies first, or actually 10 other candies because it's 0 prefix. So you ate at least 1 candy on day 0, or 1 candy on day 1, 1 candy on day 2, and so forth, right? So you ate 10 candies. And then because of that, you want to make it so that, so this will be false. I mean, I think this looks weird, but the earliest will be false if you don't have enough candies. And what I mean by that is, let's say you want to eat, you want to eat, let's make a big number so that it's clear, right? Let's say you want to eat type 1 candy on 10,000 days. Well, because you have to eat at least 1 candy a day, you're going to eat all these candies before you get to the end. So that means that this is no good, right? So then the opposite of that means that, so then why is the opposite true? Well, the opposite is just the earliest, so that if you're eating 5 candies, that means that, it is possible, even if, okay, this is a bad example, but let's say there's more 0 candies. So if we only ate each 5 candies and we want to still look for type 1, well, that's okay because we know that in theory, and this other part depends on the cap, that means that it is possible to eat type 1 candies on day 5 because of the early constraint, right? So that's basically what the earliest checks for. And then the other thing that I check is whether it's too late, right? And what I mean by that is that if we eat as many candy as possible, can we eat through the previous stock of candies? And here, previous is the prefix of the previous type. And note that this is off by 1 because I have a 0 type. So for example, if we look at type 1 day 5 again, we know that the prefix, we have to eat at least 10 candy of type 0. 10 candy, of type 0 or earlier, but so can we eat at least 10 candy, right? So that's basically what this function does, is that if we have the cap, meaning that that's the number of candies we can eat a day, and we have day plus 1 days, can we eat all the previous candies? And this is, and I do it, and these, you have to be really, really careful about the off by ones, is because that this is strictly greater than, because you want to have at least one room left to have type 1, right? So that's basically the idea, because on day 10, for example, you have 11 days of eating. So the 0 index is very confusing. That's why I'm saying it that way. So yeah, so on day 10 of eating, you can eat 11 days of candies. And then the question is, can you eat all the previous ones, right? If you could eat all the previous ones, it doesn't matter what order you're in with respect to the latest, because you can always just chop it off such that you eat fewer, so that you can eat at least one of this type. So that's basically the idea between latest. This assumes that, of course, earliest is met, and they both assume both is met. And once you do that, then, you know, if the earliest constraint is true and the latest constraint is true, then this is true. Otherwise, this is false. And also, if you're really slick, you can notice that this entire for loop can be done in a Python one-liner. But during the contest, and even now, I like to separate it out so that it's easier to explain and easier to think about. And it should be clear that this is linear time, linear space, because, you know, we have a prefix sum, so this is just linear space and linear time. And here, everything is constant in Q, so that's going to be linear time and linear space. But when I talk about linear time and linear space, I'm talking about, actually, this is O plus N plus Q in time and space, where N is equal to the number of candies count away, and Q is equal to the number of curries. And because this is linear, you cannot do better than that. For at least for time and space, well, it's output sensitive, right? You have to return at least Q items, so you can't really do better than Q space. So yeah, cool. That's all I have for this problem. You can watch me struggle with this, and actually I did a couple of things to debug this that maybe is interesting, so definitely watch how I solved it during the contest and fast forward a little bit or just skip ahead, because what I did was that actually I had a test case that gave me, like, so I submitted the first time, I got the wrong answer, so I used that test case, and you can kind of see how I used that test case to debug it to get the right answer, to get an off by, to fix the off by one, instead of guessing. So yeah, so maybe that's helpful. Let me know what you think. And you could watch me do that next. What is a daily cap? Hmm. Let's see. Let's see. Let's do some math. So 1 a day. Is that it? Guess not. Day 2. Oh. This one's wrong. Why? Well, this is a little bit off for sure, but this definitely needs to be fixed. But it still should be right for this one. If this is see day 2, so you remove 2. Okay. Otherwise, so the earliest day that you can get to here is day. Okay, let's try this another way. Earliest is yep, 10. This would be the that's not the earliest day. Yeah. Math problems are really hard for me. Basically, okay. There's a 2, right? We ate 2 candies. Can we get there? So it's possible. It's just so if total is at least this, then we don't outrun it. Then the late, and then can you eat enough of the prefix? Previous. So this means that it doesn't go too late. Here it means for each of the previous day. Can we eat through the previous thingies? Is that right? I don't think this is right still, but I want to see what it gives me. This is way wrong. Basically, you want to eat through all the previous numbers. Oh no. If this is true, then that means that for 2, is it day 2? Yeah, if this is bigger, then we can eat all the previous numbers. And yeah, okay. I mean, this gives me the right answer, but I'm not confident about it at all. What's the case that I want to do? Case I want to do is, let's see. Do day type 1 day, 7. Okay. 6. This should be true. So yeah, okay. Pretty sure that's true actually. Because the first day we can day 0 we eat 6 of this, and then the second day we eat that, right? So why is this wrong? So earliest, yeah, that's good. Previous, day. Rent this, and has to be strictly greater than. Okay, so that looks better. Let's double check. Let's give it a go. I'm not confident, but wasting a lot of time testing. Okay, well it's not a good test case. My Evernote is always so bad these days. But okay, let's see if this where the discrepancy is. This is impossible to debug, but I hope it's just like an off by one somewhere, but I don't. I'm trying to think about my logic a little bit. Let's see. I don't even know where the wrong answer is. That's a sad part. It's this one, but I don't know what answer that is. I have to count. That is silly. Seems like I'm just off by one a little bit. That's the only force case, so hopefully that's just off by one. But let's see. One. So this is the expected answer. You gotta be kidding me. How do I do a search and replace on this? Do none of my tools have search and replace? What is this technology? I can't believe this. This way. So guys, so we want to eat type 43 on day 1054. Daily cap is 49. Actually, it should be 44, 43. Okay, so I feel like I have an off by one here somewhere because it is exactly 1054. The expected answer is false, but I returned true. Can I reduce this thing a little bit? So let's change here to 1. That returned true, so I don't know. Okay. What do I want to do? 49 on day. Is that the day? Favorite day, daily cap. Oh, it is just this, isn't it? So 1 a day. So 1 a day. Then it would eat. I mean, this gives me the right answer for this problem now, but okay, let's give it a go. Let's double check the example first. Okay, so that wasn't that. Yeah, thanks everybody for watching. Let me know what you think about this problem. I didn't do that well on this contest, just based on some things that if you watch the contest video, hopefully you'll see. But yeah, hit the like button again, hit the subscribe button again, join me on Discord again, and hope y'all have a good day. Take care of yourself. If you have the fortune, take care of others, to good health, stay good, stay well, and pass it forward, and treat people around you well, and to good mental health. And I will see you next problem. Bye bye.